This is Jason Preston playing in the NBA Summer League after just being drafted by the Los Angeles Clippers with the 33rd pick back in 2021.
The third pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Jason Preston.
But did you know, only 4 years before that, he was an unranked senior, only averaging 2 points per game, only scoring 52 points the entire season. So what happened in between?
I'm Jason Preston, and I'm from Orlando, Florida. This is my story.
Jason was born in Orlando, Florida in 1999 and grew up with an absent father and a single mother, leaving her as his sole support for the love of basketball. While Jason's basketball abilities might have taken some time to surface, his love for the game didn't. Jason would be seen in the rec center in 6th and 7th grade, working on moves by himself. And after high school practice would finish, Jason would go straight to the rec center and keep working out. However, tragically during Jason's junior year, his mother sadly passed from lung cancer, leaving him without his main support. With an absent father and the main part of his family living in Jamaica, Jason was left without anyone in the United States. However, Jason's aunt and uncle back in Jamaica became his legal guardians and let him remain in Florida to live with the son of his mother's best friend.
She's been there my whole life, actually, you know.
I'm very thankful for it.
Jason was only 140 pounds, only standing at 6 feet tall coming into his senior season. His high school team, Boone, were pushing for a state championship, which meant Jason barely played. By the time he had graduated high school, he had given up pursuing basketball, and it had become just an afterthought. He had begun enrolling at the University of Central Florida for summer classes to pursue a career in journalism. Jason still wanted to be around basketball, even if it wasn't playing at the
I wasn't playing a lot in my high school days. I got to do something that's still within basketball because I really love basketball. Give my basketball opinion on stuff.
But one day, one of his friends asked if he wanted to play in an AAU tournament. The team was in need of another player. Jason didn't even know if he was allowed to after enrolling into college. However, he decided to give it a shot. This gave him the platform to showcase his talent and skills he had worked so hard for in the past. Everyone was playing 40 minutes a game, Preston said. It was more of an opportunity. I didn't have a chance in high school. He went on to impress in the next 2 tournaments to the point that he was gathering attention from college coaches. However, it was recommended to Jason by the University of North Carolina Asheville's assistant coach at the time to enroll in a post-graduation prep program so that Jason could get more attention from college coaches. Preston went on to connect with a coach from Believe Academy in Tennessee and decided to put a hold on going to UCF. However, the coach who brought him into Believe Academy left after just 2 weeks. This is when Jason's life took another turn. When Jason got to Believe Academy, all he brought with him was a duffel bag, a backpack, and 1 pair of shoes. His coach ended up taking him down to the store to get him another pair of basketball shoes.
Luckily, right before we leave, he reminds me, and I get my shoes. And who knows if I didn't bring my shoes, if all this would have even happened.
It wasn't going to be easy for Jason when he got to Believe Academy, as the school had 5 teams. The school would try to keep those teams even from a competitive standpoint, except when they played against national opponents, and would put the best players on what was considered the A team. Jason wasn't getting much of a look in on that team. Then one day, his 2 roommates, who were on the C team, approached the coaches at Believe to ask if Jason can move onto the team on a more permanent basis.
One night, my best friends that I'm living with, we were talking, and they're both on the C team. And we were like, we should all play together. We've been playing in open gyms together, being on the same team, and it was just so much fun. We wanted the opportunity to have that together. We talked to the C team coach. He said he'd put it together. We all played together, and it was very fun.
And this is when things really began to change for Jason. He began to face tougher opponents, and this would lead to much more attention being given to him. His coach took him and his teammates to Georgia Tech, and the head coach said he liked Jason. However, he had already recruited Jose Alvarado at the point guard spot. One day, after a late game, the team had an 8-hour bus ride back to campus. Jason decided to use this time to gather all the film off the coaches and screen record all his clips so he could send them back to a friend back home to make him a highlight mix. His friend then sent it back to him, and he handed it to his coaches for them to push it out to colleges. And this is where he was to gain even more attention. And although Georgia Tech wasn't interested in Jason, the meeting with their coach would pay dividends. Their coach ended up calling the assistant coach of Ohio University at the time, Bo Ryan, to suggest they start recruiting Jason. But Ohio didn't begin heavily pursuing Jason until his highlight reel showed up on Twitter, which also led to Longwood University being heavily interested in Jason as well, following the video's emergence. Jason ended up going with Ohio University. Jason went on to start 22 games as a freshman. However, the coach who recruited him parted ways with Ohio after his freshman season. At this point, he could have transferred to Wichita State University, where his coach had just gone, or elsewhere, but he wanted to stay loyal to the school that took a chance on him coming out of prep school. After his freshman season, Jason ended up gaining 20 pounds of muscle during the offseason and was now standing at 6'4" and nearly 190 pounds. But Jason went on to have a mentality change on his offensive game. In his opening game of his sophomore season, Ohio were down to 8 scholarship players due to injury, and Jason went on to play all 40 minutes and handed out 13 assists in a road win. 8 days later, in a road game versus Iona, Jason went in with the same mindset, looking to distribute. But Iona's defense made it tough for him to give out assists to his teammates. After the first media timeout, his coach told him he needed to be more selfish on the offensive end. Jason went on to finish with 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists in a win versus Iona. Jason's coach said his game gave comparisons to Evan Turner and D'Angelo Russell. Jason went from
I think that's encouraging because his best days are ahead of him.
Jason went from averaging 6 points per game as a freshman to putting up 16.8 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 7.4 assists as a sophomore. He began to gain attention on the national radar with several impressive performances, including a triple-double against Miami. However, the biggest breakout effort came out later in his junior season. It was late November, and Ohio were taking on Illinois, who had All-American Ayo Dosunmu playing for them. Jason went on to score 31 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, and gave out 8 assists with 0 turnovers, matching Dosunmu bucket for bucket and nearly willing Ohio to the upset win before falling 77-75. So what changed for Jason? From the time when he barely saw game time as a high school senior, Jason was able to showcase his talents for once when he left Boone High School and he attended Believe Academy. He was finally able to get the game time and freedom to do what he does best. He's had a far from simple journey from no game time in high school to playing a high level of college basketball. But the fact that he had no one to rely on helped him focus on improving every aspect of his game. With this increase in attention, Jason's personality, unselfishness, and humble attitude never changed. He was always grateful for everything.
Always hold on to and just never change. Remain humble, determined, and just being a good person, a good man.
He was also a dedicated student in the classroom. During his sophomore season, he boosted his draft stock into ESPN's initial top 100 for the 2021 draft, with Jason checked in at number 69, within reach of the second round of the draft, and the number 16 point guard prospect in the draft. On January 23, 2021, during his junior season, Jason posted his second triple-double of his college career with 11 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds in an 85-77 win against Ball State. Jason was named MVP of the MAC tournament after leading Ohio to the title. On March 20th, in the first round of the NCAA tournament, he helped the 13th-seeded Bobcats to a 62-58 upset victory over the 4th-seeded Virginia, recording 11 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. At the end of his junior season, he went on to average 15.7 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 7.3 assists, earning him first-team All-MAC honors. On April 26, 2021, Jason declared for the NBA draft while maintaining college eligibility, where he later decided to remain in the draft. The Orlando Magic ended up drafting him with the 33rd pick of the 2021 draft, before trading the pick to the Los Angeles Clippers. Jason is yet to play in an NBA regular season game after having surgery on his right foot, causing him to miss the entire 2021-2022 season. So where's Jason now? Jason's averaging just under 13 points per game at the Ontario Clippers, getting good game time while showing his coaches why they drafted him. If you enjoyed
It's a dream come true to be where I am, be in this position. And I'm just very thankful for it. I'm not going to take anything for granted.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.